I landed 2 days early from a Houston trip, high on the kind of wind that makes CFOs dance behind closed doors. The plan was simple. Flowers, dinner at the overpriced French place Lillian loved, then 5 guilt-free days off together. Ryan's Honda in our lot killed that daydream at the curb. He was supposed to be in Chicago. Instead, his cheap cologne hit me the second I opened our door. His jacket on the hall chair, his shirt on the banister, a breadcrumb trail of clothes climbing. Toward our bedroom, my wife's blouse and blue silk among them. I didn't run upstairs. I went to my office. The safe sits behind my Northwestern diploma because irony appreciates a good view. The .45 came out smooth, heavy, inevitable. I set it on the desk, poured a measure of 18-year scotch, and waited with the door cracked, just enough to catch the stares. Half an hour later, the house spoke. Floorboards, the bathroom hinge I'd never oiled. Lillian appeared first in the burgundy robe I bought her for Christmas, hair tousled, satisfied. Ryan shuffled behind her, bare-chested, wearing that grin he reserves for victories that aren't his. They saw me. The smiles died. "How long?" I asked. "5 months," she whispered. Ryan started the speech. "We can explain, be adults, don't be violent," and took a step. I lifted the pistol and put a round through the wall to his right. The apartment swallowed the blast. Plaster. "Snowed." "That was your warning," I said. Lillian's scream finally ran out of breath. Ryan froze. We stared at each other across a carpet suddenly full of truths. My phone buzzed. "Natalie, my sister-in-law. Have you seen Ryan?" she asked, voice tight. "I'm looking at his car." Silence stretched, then a laugh, flat, exhausted. I knew he was cheating. Didn't know it was with Lillian. She had receipts, a PI, a timeline. She wanted out. She wanted payback. "When you're done with him," she said, "tell him to pack a bag and never come back." I put the call on the mental shelf labeled leverage and turned back to the staircase. "You're going to phone Natalie," I told Ryan, "and confess, all of it, on speaker." "No." He shook his head, the old stubbornness bubbling up. The second shot took his thigh. Clean, loud, decisive. He crumpled, cursing, bleeding, finally understanding. "Now," I said. "Pain does something clarity can't." He dialed. Natalie answered. She let him confess until the air went stale, then ended their marriage in one cold, perfect sentence. When the line went dead, I called 911 and used a version of the truth the law likes. An intruder, a homeowner, a gun. Paramedics carried Ryan out. Detectives separated stories. Mine stayed simple. Lillian cried in a corner, clutching silk that used. To mean something, I spent the night in holding, which was worth it to have the paperwork begin on my terms. Victor, my law partner, the kind who can find a loophole in a hymn, pulled me out by noon. He also had news. Natalie was in our conference room with a banker's box labeled evidence. She'd done the work. Financials, phone logs, photos, hotel receipts, and a brutal folder marked workplace harassment. Statements from women at Ryan's company, emails, policy violations. She had a plan, too. 7 figures in settlements, split among victims. His immediate termination for cause. A reference letter that told the truth. Then the industry whisper network would do the rest. "And Lillian?" I asked. "Your prenup is a marvel," Victor said, proud of his own handiwork. "She gets nothing." Within 2 weeks, Ryan was fired, broke, and unemployable. Within 6 months, he was day laboring for cash. By the year, Mark he'd moved back in with our mother, a regular at the wrong bars. Lillian tried a fresh start and found out scandal stains. The prenup held. So did the gossip. She traded a corner office. Trajectory for a studio apartment and freelance scraps. My reputation, perversely, went the other way. Clients liked that beneath the tailored suits lived a man who would not be played. The firm tripled. Opposing counsel stopped mistaking politeness for softness. 3 years later, I was reading The Prince in Italian on a balcony in Florence when Victor called. "She's been trying to reach you," he said. "Lillian, stage 4. 6 months, maybe." She wanted to apologize. "Tell her no," I said, and meant it. The real win hadn't been the warning shot, or the settlements, or even the ironclad divorce. It was learning to stop spending my life on people who treated it like theirs to waste. Revenge isn't the point. Indifference is. Build something so solid that their ruin becomes footnote, not fuel. The Arno caught the last light. I poured another glass, closed the book, and watched the city glow. Somewhere back home, the past was still busy burning itself down. I had moved on.